it was colder in Florida than it was in Seattle last week.
Maybe it was in like the 60s to 70s last week.
It was weird.
The low for the nights has been like 40-ish.
Oh my god.
Extreme weather action.
So I don't think Aaron's going to be joining us.
I guess not. We
Maybe he couldn't hear the call.
Maybe. And which NPC is Chris going to kill this week?
No spoilers.
No
Gonna give him Zane.
Okay. Whatever it takes, man.
To get Zane killed? I don't think he could pull off Zane. Zane has too much character already given to him by Grimith.
And none of the women actually have any skills whatsoever in fighting, so they make no sense of coming out. Not to say they're not useful.
No, what are you doing judging them, you fucker? Jesus.
We don't even know their skill sets.
You don't even know their sexual preferences. Come on.
What does that have to do with anything?
He said,
I mean,
he said there's no use in them coming out, so...
What?
Naturally, I took that, as I did.
That's reaching.
I'll show you reaching. Right.
Too weird? Nah, we're good.
So yes, as Aaron has been apparently typing in the chat, there are mysterious reasons, shady possibilities for what transpired, but he has no ability to hear or transmit.
Or apparently do several other things.
Now, apparently he's fixed most of the crap, but it's transpired since this morning. Hell if I know what happened.
No, I attempted to ask what happened, but he chose to offer nothing other than it was ruined when he woke up.
Yes. Maybe it's a sore subject for him, you know? He doesn't want to talk about it. Maybe he fell for the Facebook malware, who can say?
So it is possible to overload your computer with porn.
Damn it.
Well, it couldn't have happened to her. It couldn't have happened to a more sadistic...
Maybe he was still using Napster / Morpheus / Kazaa / LimeWire.
All at
Pirate
once?
Bay got raided last week.
I heard.
Not that I would have any knowledge about, you know, what Pirate Bay is or does, but yeah.
Of course not.
A clone website already opened up.
I always just thought it was about shekels and booty.
It's perfectly fine. Pop Man will find things for him to do. I don't give a damn. Pop Man. So I presume half the people who are going to watch this just suddenly stopped watching it because it's no longer the Pop Man Chronicles.
223 viewers, 220 unsub.
Alright. Gather round, everyone. It's time for All Flesh Must Be Eaten. Last session saw the death of a character, the acquisition of a 16-wheeler, and the finding of a black helicopter. We pick up on the afternoon of the 14th. Team PC is still gathered on the first floor. Eugene and Tony just reported the shot that hit the ground between them, and Eugene, without like any other further words, says he's going to fucking get high, and there's no stopping him. He goes up the stairwell.
It's just too close, man.
Yeah.
Too close.
What would you like to do now?
What would the two of us like to do?
Yes.
Well, we still need to deal with the water problem.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's still priority.
Without water, we die. Just a slow and painful death.
It's like spice. It's the life.
Yeah. Water must flow.
Exactly.
You got like some water worms to help here, or what?
I don't know. Should we set up a thumper?
I don't have enough points in skill genetic engineering.
Can you cross the water without pattern?
cross the roads without pattern. We're just getting into some trimmers shit now. Like, this is about to get seriously B-rated.
I hope you guys don't find any MREs. I'm gonna bring in Michael Gross.
Is
that his name? I can't remember.
So I think the idea we were talking about is I got this from what we were conversating about, even though it may have been lost in translation over the internet. We were going to take the 16-wheeler with the now empty tanker to the artesian well, and we were going
with the remnants of acetone still within it because you just emptied it out today.
I was gonna say we need to leave it sit out for a couple days to evaporate, and then probably still run almost a full load of water through it.
We could just run a full load of water through it anyways.
Yeah. I don't know how semi-realistic we're gonna get, but that shit almost never works the first time.
This is B-rated movies. This is B-rated movie shit. Neither of us know about. Neither of our characters care about acetone.
Yeah, well, B-rated is more than happy to poison everyone.
Exactly.
Do it. Do it.
Whereas if we leave it out in the sun, we know acetone will evaporate almost completely.
Well, then what are we gonna do for a couple of days while we wait for it to evaporate? Get shot by a sniper?
Collect things so that we can actually pump it out of the well and set up storage.
So what do we need to do some pumping? I have some ideas, but I would like to hear yours.
Unless the well has enough pressure itself that we could just cap it and let it flow up through the pipe, we would, or tube, shit, I guess tube hose, that'd be the better word. We'd actually have to get a pump of some kind.
Mm-hmm.
Preferably high capacity, otherwise we're going to be sitting there for like 10 hours to fill this thing up.
Mm-hmm. My idea was...
Yeah, I know you want a lot of stuff from a hardware store.
Yeah, PVC piping, which is just generally useful. Other stuff, we might be able to find, hand crank, rechargeable battery, stuff like that might be useful.
Just general maintenance tools.
General maintenance tools and
shovels and crap, snow dealing with type gear.
Snow dealing with
middle of August. We need snow dealing.
Going to the hardware store for snow dealing with type crap.
You don't even
be back in an hour.
Do you mean like snow shovels, power shovels?
We can even grab some snow blowers because if nothing else, like you can rip them apart and make other shit out of them.
You can tell Ryan lives in an area where there is no snow dealing with crap.
I have lived for 4 years in places that snowed. Okay.
A grand total of 4.
A sixth of my life has been spent where it snowed.
Well, I can count that time in weeks. So.
Well, I do like the idea of getting just snow blowers or anything with a superfluous engine.
You want stuff with small engines and stuff to power things or whatever, like.
Yeah, I mean, I theorized, you could.
I'm gonna be honest with you here. Although it doesn't surprise me, I didn't know there were such things as snow blowers you could pick up in hardware stores.
Possibly.
Not in hardware stores, but there are. If there are any sort of
I'm thinking Sears type places. That I consider that
a Sears type place might have them if it's the season.
I suppose it's more of an appliance type place, but it's going into the season.
Another place that would have them would be outdoor places like a home and garden center, Home Depot, places like that.
Well, it might be going into the season in the middle of August, but the zombie apocalypse hit a bit before now.
I know places at least here, but we have pretty stable seasons. Places like Lowe's and Home Depot tend to carry the same stuff year-round.
Sure. A large enough store would certainly do that.
Yeah. Little places like Ace Hardware might not, but... No.
Even here they carry some snow stuff. It never snows.
Even if it's just leftover stock that they leave on the shelf.
Yeah, it's like candy corn.
Year-old candy corn.
That is the same candy corn that was on the shelf from 1950.
Yeah.
My father's candy corn.
Only ever been one batch of candy corn.
Insert the Lewis Black gag about all the candy corn being made was made in 1914 or whatever, and they just keep shoveling it and putting it in new bags every year.
I believe it.
God, that shit sucks. Alright.
So I guess Fletch and Tony are getting in the car and going off to the hardware store.
We don't even know where one is.
Good point. To the phone books.
Another thing, I think we should be looking for. Not to say this car is crap, but it's not going to handle snow or ice.
I didn't put it on the big car tokens, but I did take the time on those little tokens that Ryan added and filled in all of the vehicle stats. The DC on this game stands for damage capacity.
So hit points.
Yes, your hit points.
And
Swag
toughness
will be
is like armor.
Yeah, and handling is how easy the machine is to handle. We haven't bothered with that for the most part, except for like in Summer Meadow, and I'm more than happy to continue not bothering with it. But if there's ever a situation like a vehicle chase, or I need to see how much damage a vehicle is taken before it gets destroyed, that's what the DC's for.
What about AV?
I think that's the armor value. And I think toughness is... I'm not sure.
Maybe toughness is how much damage you actually have to do to actually do anything? Maybe?
It's possible. Sort of like how... or maybe that's the armor value. I honestly don't know. I will
Whatever.
have to look it up in the book. If it comes up...
If it comes up.
I said it comes up, yes. It determines how long a vehicle can continue to function even after being heavily damaged. It's roughly equal to a human being's constitution attribute.
Ah.
So it can roll versus death.
The swag movie rolls versus death.
Yes.
I like where this is going.
And the armor value does reduce the amount of damage something sustains, in which case the black helicopter there has an armor value of 15.
Interesting.
That's a lot of armor.
Let's see here. And your handling is, it requires... It could modify the pilot's dexterity, depending on the test that's called for.
Okay.
Is it also, I thought, wait, this might be something else, I'm thinking of a different game. Don't you roll the lower of the handling or your driving skill?
You're probably thinking Shadowrun.
Probably.
It might have come up in this. It has been a long time since I've had that happen. I think, if anything, that came up whenever you rolled the vehicle into soybean land.
I do know that rule is correct for SR4. I'm not sure about here, though.
Yeah, that does definitely sound like a Shadow Raid thing.
Maneuver.
Shadow Raid. Shadow Raid is a Shadowrun.
You roll the lower of dexterity or maneuverability.
Okay.
So yeah, just wanted to note the fact that I had added those values. It's just number porn.
Number porn, yay. So we need to find a hardware store or big box store of some sort.
I want to be on the lookout for like pickup trucks that look functional. It seems like something we could get a lot of use out of.
Functional to you is not the same thing as functional to Tony, mind you. This.
Well, that maybe Fletch doesn't want to drive your fucking vehicle.
At the very
You
minimum,
can't lash all the vehicles together and ride them like a chariot, man. Come on.
especially with
sure?
how many people we have in the fort now, we can't fit them all into one four-door sedan. That's a redundant statement, but anyway.
It's not even blue.
We can fix that at the hardware store.
Oh, okay.
Shit.
Either way, we'll keep a lookout for a pickup truck or an SUV, maybe?
Okay.
Or do you just want a pickup truck?
I really just think having the open bed would be more useful.
Well, we can take an SUV and make it have an open bed.
I'd rather have one that already comes with a functional open bed.
Okay, man, I'm just saying, keep your options open.
Okay. Well, a look through a local area, basically like in the counties around Fort Drake, there is a Lowe's located in Brunswick. It's on the western edge, or like if you'll take a look at the Brunswick map, I'll go ahead and around there. Beyond that, since Frederick, was around a size of 60,000, you of course got your Sears, you got your Ace Hardware, there's another Lowe's there, Simpsons, some, like a Rochester, some other like knick-knack hardware stores, stuff like that.
No Napa Auto Parts, or is that a Midwest thing?
No, there's definitely Napa. At least I have Napa. We're gonna say there's Napa. There's your auto place equivalents. It's the place of 60,000 souls, or that it used to be.
Mm-hmm.
As Ryan joked about, it's a large city for me, in quotations.
Okay. So more stuff that's in Frederick that we might want to get. Well, that's in Frederick.
Yes.
Well, that one in Brunswick is pretty close, and it's on the better side of the town to be visiting.
Mm-hmm. And you never know, we might just along the way find you that pickup truck you want. If we're lucky.
It's just something I'm looking out for. It's not really
it's not.
a requirement, but yeah. I just think the more vehicle options we have, the better. Especially because, as we saw last time, we could easily lose one in a pile up somewhere.
And you don't want to just have that one be the only one we have.
Right. Well, like, imagine if the car and the truck had gotten stuck and we...
Oh, this reminds me. We're going to need jerry cans or whatever those things are called in not video games.
That's the correct term for them.
Yeah. Need those, and then we need to siphon gas out of cars. I mean...
Yeah, considering we haven't found like a
working
gas station that we can access easily.
Mm-hmm. But
or even once we do, we'll need the jerry cans to, get the fuel out.
Mm-hmm. Just something else to look out for. Probably would find them in a hardware store, or maybe not at all. So is just
wondering, just as far as like preparation goes, like. You mentioned gas stations, but of course, if they don't have power, the pumps won't work. Mm-hmm. And to my knowledge, getting into the actual storage tanks themselves is shitty as fuck.
Depends on if they follow regulations on burying them correctly.
Let's assume they do.
Yeah.
I wonder if either Pink or Riggs would be able to... Like, if we took a generator to the gas station, if we could easily disconnect it from the main power and connect it to a generator, just have easy pumping.
You could probably jerry-rig some sort of splice in. I'm not saying Trusty Tony would be your best bet to do that, but he could.
If this is mentioned to Riggs will sardonically note, what's he supposed to do? Go with you instead of staring at the stealth helicopter?
Possibly.
Yeah.
Or you could, show us what to do, or
Riggs
make some handy-dandy little device.
Oh.
Thanks, Riggs.
Pink says that she doesn't do anything of that sort, and she would not be suited to go.
Thanks, Riggs.
Thanks, Pink.
Riggs.
Hey, it's not like we need you right now, man. It's just, it might be something we have to do if we can't get into these tanks.
Mm-hmm.
Riggs looks over at Ace, and Ace doesn't even bother to, let Riggs volunteer. Ace is like, yeah, whatever, stare at the fucking helicopter.
Ace goes back to his porno.
Fine, but I'm warning you, while I'm gone, don't you fuck up Fletch's helicopter.
That was really more of a joke.
Sure. Ace is definitely committed to continuing the joke. Riggs is...
Riggs is Riggs.
Yeah. Riggs will mutter and fucking walk off outside.
This is falling your demise.
Come on, Pink, you fucking shit. Jax will note that he is going to take a look around, doing things like, pick up Crash, gotta see if any possible traces of Sniper or other activity can be found, say, down into the basement. Area. Gonna check on the horticulture labs. Gonna go check on the reactor room. If that helicopter came here for a reason, one of the reasons might be down there in the basement.
Well, I would strongly suggest taking at least one other person with you, just in case.
That's what Jackson Crash are gonna be doing. And a groggily Lance will get on the radio fucking
Thanks for the input there, Lance.
It's still afternoon for him. It's get me off the fucking roof.
So we want to go and scope out that Home Depot? Lowe's, whatever it was?
It says Home Depot on the map, so I'm going to assume that's
what it is. There.
Okay. The Home Depot hardware store, Big Lots thing.
Big Lots? I don't think Big Lots would
generic
exactly
store
have.
place.
Generic store place.
I haven't seen a Big Lots in... It's been a while. Didn't they close down?
No, they're still out here on the west.
Okay.
They're still open in the Midwest.
They just closed down here. Got it.
Yeah. And so off we ride.
And off you ride. Ace will sit in the back. He's not accustomed to being, chauffeured around. He'll enjoy it.
Mm-hmm. I
Is
don't
that
know
a
if
better
it'll-
name for you?
Go ahead and drag you folks. Better name what? What are you talking about? Oh, there you go. Home Depot Task generic store time. Depot Task.
It's supposed to be Depot-esque, but I think I hit an extra letter.
Close enough.
Depot-esque.
Yep, Depot S generic store place.
Yeah, there we go.
Type place,
Perfect.
yes. It's a fine place for Dr. Anthony Antonius Fidelis Ramirez III, Esquire. of Latter-day Saints. Alright. 3 of you set out in the Swagmobile. We'll say that it takes, say, 15 miles for you folks to reach the area of Brunswick. I would like the driver to make a dexterity plus driving test with a -3 penalty for me.
Let me just make sure I didn't up. I'm pretty sure I didn't up my driving skill, but I never know about these things. I'm never 100% certain about these things, you know? Until,
Of course, I understand.
These things have...
Let me just expend my experience points now.
Okay. It's what
Still
I thought
the
it
beginning.
was.
Nothing's been rolled. You can do that, right?
Whoa.
And roll another one.
Oh,
Okay. I was gonna say another. With that, you might as well go ahead and throw like a 1d10 for each of those ones for me, please. Okay. Okay. So.
This is somehow Aaron's fault.
oh, jeez. This is happening.
You have channeled Potman into the driving ability. Like, apparently getting the truck stuck last week or yesterday just completely destroyed your confidence in driving.
It's the -3 of death.
So I'm thinking, with that horrible luck, we need to throw a good situation into here. So the 3 of you are driving around. Trusty Tony's got the vehicle, made good time as you headed south. Trusty Tony's
he's
got a
got
handle
this all
on.
right.
Trusty Tony's got a handle on all these maneuvers now. So get to 340, interchange there, and there's going to be a bit of traffic before you can cross south there on 17, heading towards Brunswick. Let's see here. Trusty Tony's like, hold on, I got this. He spots like a mob of like 5-6 zombies, including a zombear, and he whips and wheels the wheel around, and then it starts spinning, and he's like, uh-oh. And it goes off an overpass, and then falls. And, let's see here. Considering the situation, how big of a drop would that be? Wouldn't be that big, maybe like 10 feet, a small type thing.
It's just 10 feet.
10 feet.
Yeah, 10 feet.
Say here, that situation, given the crushing weight of the vehicle, I suppose we'll allow for like a quick reaction. The vehicle has just driven off the edge of the road and is beginning to make a 10-foot drop to the ground. What would you like to do?
What is there to do?
Yeah, what is there to do? There's nothing I really can do to improve the situation.
I know. Let's jump out the door, because smashing into the ground body first will be totally better than, having the restraints of the vehicle to help.
Yep. Ace will fall out and throw out an are you fucking kidding me? Okay.
Yeah, I was just, for my only action, I was look at Tony and say, what the fuck?
Alright, a falling character takes d6 points of damage for every yard drop. We're going to say, given the situation, the fact that you're in a car, the 3 of your characters take 4d6 damage.
Oh, no.
That's not bad.
This is for Ace.
You're everything.
It's not even half.
Yep. Alright, that takes Ace down to 20.
And Tony's just like, whatever.
The car, for its part, due to the meticulous and wonderful handling of Trusty Tony, basically falls like on its front, and then it like falls a bit forward over, so now that it's on, it's like a turtle. And the innards are exposed up to the top. The car has come to a complete stop. The zombies and the zombear are left up on the overpass.
confused.
Shocked and
And the zombies begin to walk off and basically fall and break their fucking legs after you. What would you like to do?
And
Well,
moan in sore pain for a moment.
We should also deal some damage to the car here. Alright. The car, you know, you could get it flipped over. You could probably still drive it.
yeah. Okay, everybody, out of the car. We'll flip this thing back over.
Jesus, what a way to start.
It's pretty compressed. All the windows are fucked. The headlights are fucked. Significant damage to the front and the top of the vehicle.
It's just body
Well,
damage. It'll buff out. It'll buff
assessing
out.
the situation, what's around us?
You're basically like in a grassy type area. Let's see here. There's no road that you've fallen off of. Basically, Trusty Tony's taking you off the road. The only threat would be those zombies that are slowly milling to you, but they've basically just broken their fucking legs by falling off the 10-foot drop. And are slowly, like, beginning to, like, crawl towards you. The zombear, for its part, apparently, seems distracted by other things and does not pursue you off the bridge. Or, like, waddles away. The car, it would be possible for the three of you with some difficult strength, and some penalties to try to flip this over. Tony thinks that it's possible that it could be driven, but it has sustained some damage. It would be harder to operate, and you would have to get it back onto the road.
Well,
You know, there's some trees off in the distance. You know, it's pretty nearby. A relatively grassy area.
just gonna put this in perspective. We're gonna have to walk back, and I'm not doing that. So we're either gonna drive this thing back, or we're stuck.
You're like maybe you're not that far from Brunswick at this point. Maybe like a fucking mile or two from like the center of the town. Not that you want to be in the center of the town. Or maybe you do. And which means you're less than a mile away from where you think the Home Depot generic store type place is, if you follow the, you know, signs to get the address down, Pat. Seeing as though you've never been in the area.
Well, at the very least, I do think we have to try to get it back on its wheels.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This will be some exertion involved here. I would like each of you to roll a 1d4 for endurance point loss. Of course, if you have resistance fatigue, you'll be alright. And then go ahead and we're going to say that a total of three successes will be required. It'll be a difficult strength test at a -2 penalty.
So it's just a 1d10, Tony.
We go ahead and roll endurance point loss for him. The amount of time that you guys have is basically, you could take like 5-6 minutes with this, and maybe then the zombies would reach you. Maybe less time, but they are crawling. Go ahead.
Not so much.
1d10 plus 1. No, Ace does not have that at all.
Okay.
Not even another. He's like, fuck!
God damn this. I assume each roll is going to come with the endurance loss.
Sure is.
I'm just going to tally up how many rolls I make and then do all the endurance at once.
Okay.
Wow, Tony. Wow.
That's a good idea, Ryan. We go ahead and roll another
Oh,
one for... No, Ace does not fucking have this shit. Not even a little. It's gonna be 2 more endurance rolls for him. Okay. That's,
and there's the other 2.
yeah. What's, 1 success for Jordan. And then 2 success for Fletch. So it looks like you made 2
Make
other
sure
rolls.
I had the -2 on there, so.
Yeah, the -2. Yep, sure is. Alright. And then 1 more roll, Ryan. There you go.
Yeah, and it automatically subtracts it from
Yep.
the token.
Cool. Okay, well, It took less than a minute with some supreme, effort. Maybe trying
I like
to
to think the first rolls were like rocking it forward, then it rocks a little bit back, and then
There you go, using momentum.
just get the momentum to push
Gotta get it
it
going.
over, hopefully not on top of us.
Flip the car. Flip the car.
Yeah, the body of the car looks pretty fucked up. It's pretty rough. It is going to be a -2 penalty to drive this thing around its current condition, but it's still drivable. Trusty Tony's sure of that. He didn't wreck the car completely. It wasn't that big of a drop.
So it's a -2 plus the -3 because of, unless I take it slow.
Because of local road conditions.
Because of local road conditions, yes.
Okay.
Alright, but you got the vehicle and you can continue.
All right. Let's see if this thing works.
And basically, this will be another dexterity plus driving, just for you to get back on the road. Just to ensure
I don't.
that you...
Is it a
want
-3 to get back on the road, or is it just a -3? Is it a -2 just from the difficulty, or is that the -3 taken into account?
We'll say that the full weight of the -5 applies here, because you're also trying to make sure that you don't get caught in the crawling zombie bodies.
All right. Let's hope I don't roll a 1 again.
Okay, it's fine. No more dexterity plus driving tests are required for you. You spend some time cruising around, just trying to follow addresses and signs. It's pretty slow going. No more fuel is lost. You do have, let's see here, 38 minus 15 is 19.
23.
Basically, we have
23.
just enough to get back.
Yeah, 23 miles of fuel. But you do end up finding it. It is, in fact, a Lowe's. One of the larger Lowe's as well. Maybe it serves a larger area than just Brunswick. You'd have to hope so, because Brunswick's not that big.
Got the Harper's Ferry. There over there, man. Gotta get those suburbanites from Harper's Ferry.
Well, whatever bright person who built the damn thing, it's a rather large Lowe's. The parking lot appears to be pretty empty and desolate, except for shopping carts and, basically like all sorts of other like wheeled carts that you would use to take larger things out of Lowe's. The plant life has seen better days, looking at the garden area from outside.
Oh yeah, Lowe's has a garden section.
Yeah, those plants are dead.
It might have seeds inside.
Yeah,
Yep.
could be. Lawn chair, stuff like that. Why don't you folks, now that you've arrived here, give me an indication of what you'd like to look for and possible scavenging checks we can end up making as a result.
PVC pipes and general like maintenance tools, like Ryan said earlier. That's the first thing Tony's looking for.